Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Duck Size Horses, the comedy podcast in which we answer questions that you don't really want to hear the answers to. I'm Jack Higgins.
I'm Nathan Herat.
And it's a pleasure to join you again today for the 10th instalment.
10, that's unbelievable, so can we make that known? I'm amazed we've lasted that long.
The question today does have a 10 in it.
It does.
That's great.
Genius.
And we're going to come on to that in a little moment's time. But just before then, if we've got some thanks to
we
give
do.
out, as per usual.
I shall do them. So, a lot of thank yous, I think, to get through. Let's do another thank you just for last month's guest host, Natalie. Thank you for coming in. We really enjoyed having you here. Thank you to everyone who's got in touch and sent questions, got involved in the competition, which we'll talk about later. And just before we get onto the question, as Jack said, which does have a 10 in, little hook there, we should just look at the scores. And it currently stands at Jack Higgins 4 episodes, Nathan Herat / with consultant help from Natalie 5 episodes. So I've got a little lead. Hopefully I can keep that going today.
I'm going to claw it back.
You are looking confident there. You're forward in your chair.
Yeah, I'm
smile
I'm
on the
edge.
face, ready to go. Buzzing. Right, so it's time to go to the polls before we delve into our own answers. So I shall read the question and then I'll hand over to my lovely assistant, Jack.
Lovely. I've never been described as that before, but thank you.
You certainly are, sir, and you can inform us of the stats. Mm-hmm. So the question, and we should thank the person that sent in the question. So the question for this month's episode was sent in by my comedy writing partner, Sim. So thank you very much for that, sir. A duck is on, well, it's not on its way to you, but it is sort of on its way, isn't it? Yeah. It's in my drawer currently, but it will...
It's sat in the cupboard.
Yeah, it's in a cupboard, but at some point it will work its way to you in the near future, so get ready for that. Keep looking for the postman just in case, even though I'm going to hand deliver it. Just look at the postman anyway. So the question Sim has sent, question 10, is, would you rather instantly learn a new skill or have an extra 10,000 hours? Higgins?
That's it's a great question.
It is a brilliant question.
It's come from the thought process where you would dedicate about 10,000 hours to learning a skill. I think.
Did wonder that. I did honestly wonder where the choice of 10,000 hours had come from.
Yeah, it takes 10,000 hours to do something properly.
Wow.
Supposedly.
Probably takes me more, to be honest.
And that's quite a lot of time.
That is a large expense.
So it would probably come as no surprise to you that people would rather instantly have the skill than have 10,000 extra hours. What they do with those 10,000 extra hours, or if they're 10,000 extra hours they get back from elsewhere. Yeah. People are more keen for going, I'm gonna have a skill to do something.
Fair enough.
So
let's talk figures.
68% of people on Twitter favour the instant skill. 71% on Facebook favour the instant skill. Wow. So it's been a good one.
Yeah, it's quite comprehensive, I suppose.
So
shall I read it for you, sir?
More importantly, what do we think?
Ready. Get yourself ready
nuts
for this.
Nuts to everybody else.
You say that every month, nuts to... I refuse to say nuts to everyone else. But so, Jack Higgins, question 10. Would you rather instantly learn a new skill or have an extra 10,000 hours? Off you go.
I would rather have the hours, please.
Really?
I'd rather have the 10,000 hours. And I've got some good reasons for this.
I'm looking forward to this already.
But what do you think? What are you picking for this
For the first time in about maybe 7, 8 episodes, I'm with you. I've gone for the hours.
Gone for the same.
I must admit,
fantastic.
I really did chop and change between the two.
Yeah.
Because it was quite tricky, I think. But yeah, so I've gone for the hours as well. But you go.
Let's do this the other way around then. Why did you not pick having a new skill?
Because
instantly.
I suppose actually one of the reasons I've got actually, and it came later in my answer, but I'll say it now, is because although it says you instantly learn a new skill, it doesn't actually specify that you master said skill. So you could instantly learn to ride a bike, but it doesn't necessarily suggest that you're Bradley Wiggins. It just means that you're learning to... That was what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
And also, the skills I aspire to learn instantly are really quite lame.
What would you like to learn instantly if you had to?
Now, I thought about this quite a lot, and I came up with two options, which are going to make me sound incredibly tragic and a lonely individual. But one of the skills I'd like to learn is: are you aware with the leap of faith jump from Assassin's Creed franchise games?
I'm not, but I'm aware of the leap of faith special move trick you can do in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, so I imagine they're the same.
Yeah, very similar, probably without the board, I imagine. I say imagine, there isn't a board in Assassin's Creed. But yeah, so it's basically an incredible jump. It's a bit like, is it parkour they call it? Where, the kind of wall climbing. Which I'd like to learn that a little bit, but the jump, that big jump to just jump from top to building straight down and land pretty comfortably.
I tried learning that once.
Did you?
Yeah. I didn't put 10,000 hours into it. No. My mate Dan invited me to the gym, and I was about 16 or so at the time, and I was like, I'll go to the gym, do some weights, get buff. And it turned out it was like a gymnastics gym instead, so it was a lot of just running and doing backflips.
Yeah, running to music.
So it was, I say a lot of running and doing backflips, a lot of falling head over heels into pits of foam, which
nice. You don't see that in the Olympics, do you?
No,
they don't do that.
Not as much.
That discipline, they don't do the falling into foam discipline at the Olympics. But yeah, so that was one of the skills I'd like to learn. And I know I always do this, but to bring Batman into it, I'd like to learn the skill of stealth. And sort of stealth attacks.
Creeping around.
Yeah, creeping around.
Cool.
Which makes me sound really weird.
Yeah, you could be... So, basically, you'd like to be a skilled assassin.
Well, yeah, I mean, last time...
Without the assassin bit, without the actually having
the possibility of me becoming like another Robin, or I think it was Bluebird that was suggested as my superhero name, so there'll be an element of stealth required for that superhero life.
Okay.
I've got a mask now as well.
Very good.
For that, a sort of wrestling superhero mask, which probably shouldn't have admitted to, but I have. So, but yeah, so that was what I was thinking in terms of skills, and why I didn't go for the skills. But why did you not go for the skills?
Similar reasons.
Really?
Might not master it, but yeah, and I'm really into jumping and Batman, both of those things. No, I think I'd be too fussy.
Yeah.
I think if I decided to do one thing, I'd be like, I'd instantly be like good or capable at that thing.
Yeah.
But then I'd be like, I want to do something else, and I would have already wasted my my one chance.
Oh.
So I could be like, I really want to learn piano.
Yeah.
I could learn to play piano. But then I could be like, I really want to learn how to drive a forklift.
What a spectrum that is.
And I couldn't.
Always good to have a trade.
Yeah. That's my backup plan. Yeah. Pianist or forklift driver.
Mozart or Bob the Builder. Sort
of. So yeah, I'd like to have the hours.
Yeah.
So I could at least be mediocre in numerous ventures.
Setting your sights high.
Yeah. Also.
Yeah.
And this goes more into why I chose the hours over the skill.
Yeah.
I'd quite like it if those hours were hours from my life I could get back.
Oh, nice.
So,
nice.
You must have been in the situation where, like, you finish doing something and you think, well, there's a few hours of my life I'm never going to get back.
Yes, you'd like to get them back.
Yeah, so, like, straight away, the first 2 hours, I say first 2 hours, I walked out of the film an hour into it. But
film was this?
I'm going to claim back both of them for wasted time. It was a film called Wicker Park.
I can't say I've...
Don't watch it.
Okay.
It's boring. No. Very, very boring.
What's it about? Is it a park made of wicker?
It was just very difficult to follow. There was just lots of people doing quite sort of steady whispering and just kind of moping around. And
you sure it was a film?
Someone worked in a shop. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was awful. I'd have those 2 hours back straight away.
Well, yeah. You put the claim in for
Next
that.
up, like special school assemblies. I'd have a few of those back. Just loads and useless training courses.
Yeah.
Like, all the fire drills. Like I'd have
in your entire life.
Yeah, I'd have all those little wasted minutes back where I'm like, like especially if I had other stuff to crack on with.
True. Yeah, if you have other skills to go for.
Yeah, and then I could put that time back into doing something I liked, like sleeping.
Would you devote all your extra 10,000 hours to one thing, or would you spread them out a bit? And
I'd like to spread them out.
Yeah, like
I said, I'd like to be sort of mediocrely.
What's ironic is you've said that quite mediocrely.
I had a good go at it.
You did. You chipped away at it.
I'd like to be multi-skilled, but not very good at those skills.
Nice. Well said. Well said.
Which is, well, effectively, I'm picking to be me now, but with more hours.
Don't do yourself a disservice. You're not mediocre.
So yeah, what would you do with your extra 10,000 hours?
Well, I was kind of thinking that it would, a little bit like you were saying, you could spread yourself out and try other things. And like I said, also the kind of in the flip side of learning a new skill instantly doesn't specify whether you'd be brilliant at it. But also I was kind of thinking you could use those hours, the extra hours, in a variety of ways. So you could go back to a time, maybe it would involve some kind of bartering with, I don't know, fortune tellers or some people in charge of time.
Time Lords, Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who maybe, a bit of bartering with Doctor Who, and get back hours where you did something you really enjoyed. So like a family holiday or a football match or something. You could go back
relive
them, but put a few extra hours on it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You could have, like, for example, I was thinking at a time when Bristol City won on my birthday, and I really enjoyed that game, and my favourite player scored. I could add some extra hours to that, and the game could be a bit longer. And knowing Bristol City, they'd probably lose, but still, you could have that enjoyment of the experience.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of what I was...
It's like when you go on holiday and you come back and you're it was great. Wish I had a bit more time, though.
Exactly, yeah.
See? Extra hours.
Extra hours for the holiday, so that's what I was thinking.
It's nice to agree for once. This is good.
This feels really, really good that we're agreeing. But also, you could use the extra hours to kind of travel the world a bit, because you could plan to go places. Because sometimes you think, well, we haven't really got the time to go wherever you want to go. But if you've got the extra hours...
Case in point today, we're recording. It's a quick fleeting visit down here today for me, because we're off to watch the rugby this afternoon. But could have used some of those extra 10,000 hours, but I'll chuck a few in here.
Yeah, exactly.
You can beat me at FIFA again and again and again and again.
Hey, you've been on a good run, though. Pretty good run since we last played. I think you beat me last time.
I don't think I did, but
that's a different question altogether.
I'll take that victory. If you say I did,
I'm pretty sure you did at some point. But also, I was kind of thinking a little bit tying into talking about Destiny and having the dual control of Destiny last time. I would use those again. It would involve probably talking to a sort of a Doctor Who type character in order to get the ability to go forward in time. But I would use some of the extra hours to go forward in time and see where I'm at, if that makes sense. So the kind of, like I was talking about having the aspirations of being a dad in the last episode, which was a bit gushy, but I would use some of those extra hours and say, right, today, can I go forward in time X amount of years and spend a few hours with my proverbial child to see how I get on? Because if I go forward and find out that I'm just a useless dad, which I hope I wouldn't be, but if I go forward and find that actually I'm not brilliant, I could then come back to the present day and think, well, maybe I'll put the child on the back burner. No, metaphorically.
Metaphorically on the back burner.
Not just horribly do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put the concept is the word, of having a child on the back burner.
I see. This ties in back into the other episode, going 500 years. I'm not sure how long 10,000 hours is. I'm pretty sure it's not anywhere close to 500 years.
No,
but you could
I sense a Google search coming on.
You could at least go a little bit forward.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Oh, well... Maybe I'll rethink my decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Jack was right. Maybe going back 500 years was a better decision, which it definitely was.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. You could use it for other things. Like you could go forward and see if you get married, and then get a sense of how you would cope in that situation. Or, if you're looking for a job or something, you go forward and see if you actually get one, and use it to help you work out whether you want to, get employed in a certain field, I guess. That was my thinking.
So 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
If you did it, so if you did a few each day, you'd have 8 hours a day, so 5 days a week, so doing like a job.
Yeah.
52 weeks of a year.
Yeah.
To get really skilled would take you 4.8 years.
Oh, wow. That's not bad.
So that's
not too bad.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, if you did 2 hours a day, it would take you 13.7 years.
That is some incredible maths that I'm not sure my head can cope with.
That's it's who needs heads to cope with anything? This is all just pictures on Google. I don't even know if the maths are right. I'm just reading out things from the screen.
I'm sure it is. I trust you.
I trust davidchislett.com.
There's a shout out he wasn't expecting.
Yeah. Big up David Chislett, my boy.
What a man he is.
I reckon I could do that.
Yeah.
8 hours a day. Well, that means, you'd get an extra 8 hours a day for just under 5 years.
Nice.
That'd be cool. I'd have, I don't know, I'd maybe stretch that out and maybe see if I can sort of double that to close to 10 years.
Yeah.
And only have those hours like in the summer.
Yeah.
Because that's when I'd want to do stuff. Winter's horrible. I'd be quite happy for that to pass.
Yeah.
Quite quickly. Yeah.
Could you use your extra hours? And this is probably a stupid question, but hey, that's me. Could you use your extra hours to kind of speed up regular hours, if you know what I mean? Does that make any sort of sense? So if you're going through like a drag of a day or something, could you be like, I've got extra hours here, can I speed up the day?
Oh, like hours? You kind of like pay them off. So like you've got like a little bank of hours.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You're looking at the clock, you're like, oh, I've got 3 hours left of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll use these 3 hours. I'll lose 3 hours. Yeah, I reckon so.
So I would create some kind of bank system, and maybe call it a bank.
How would you access this? I'd like to think almost like a Bernard's watch kind of thing.
Yeah, possibly.
Where like you could either
little flip up.
Yeah, you could either roll back the out. So you have like a little dial in the middle that says 10,000. You can either roll it forward.
Yeah.
And that will speed up your day, but you'd lose hours from your center counter.
Yeah.
Or you could roll it back to make that day longer if you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like a few extra hours of sunlight, you could be like, oh, I'm going to roll it back to 5 o'clock, but you'd lose hours. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. That sounds
have like
mint.
some kind of. This is another tragic window into my life, but you know how back in the day before contactless credit cards, you'd go into the shop and they'd swipe it along the thing. I was so excited to get to the age where I could have a credit card so that they'd do that. And then they got rid of the swiping technique for the contactless. So I'd bring back swiping it, and a employee of said hours bank would swipe the card, and then you could discuss how many hours you wanted off or put on, or the distribution of them.
That'd be good.
I think we may have changed the world.
I think we have.
I think we actually have.
This is great. So yeah, we need to push forward with this idea. I mean, it's
Parliament next. I think for us, mate.
100%. So you've probably, without even knowing it,
lost.
No, already dedicated like 10,000 hours.
Oh, true.
Into doing something.
That's very true.
And becoming skilled at something, even if it's just like being at school and learning how to read.
Yeah, like that's a good point.
So
we've already experienced it to some extent.
What do you reckon you'd lose part of your skills? Would you have to give up a skill to get the 10,000 hours?
That's a good point. I don't have an awful lot of skills to work with to start with, mate. So the thought of losing one is a bit.
Well, everybody's got skills. You can either read. You can so real basic ones. You can read.
Yeah,
you can cook.
Yeah.
You can clean. They
don't look too close.
Yeah, they sound really, really boring.
Yeah,
but skills are skills, right?
I suppose you've picked them up over time, haven't you?
What would you give up to?
What would I give up to learn a new skill? I don't know. That's really
just
difficult.
To get your hours back. What would you give up?
I like reading and cleaning and stuff and cooking. I suppose you could give up cooking and then just relearn it within the 10,000 hours.
Yeah, but then you'd be really mediocre. You'd have no skills. You'd go to the fridge.
Oh yeah,
and you'd go to your cupboards baffled. And you'd be like, even like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And a tin of beans. You'd be like, what?
Why are you keeping your bread in the fridge?
It keeps it fresh.
Does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you weren't meant to.
I
like how we've glossed over the fact you're keeping your beans in the fridge.
Well, it could be one of those resealable pots.
Ah, good point. Good point.
Well saved, Higgins.
That was
well
immense.
saved.
To be fair, that was incredible.
Giving myself a little pat on the back for that one.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
I keep neither of those things in my fridge, by the way.
Yeah,
I have a bread bin and a cupboard.
Of course you do.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but you'd see both of those things, and you'd be at a complete loss.
True, yeah. What skill would I give up? I'm trying to think of a skill that I'm not very good at. Sports, I suppose. I could give up, like, playing sports I'm not brilliant at.
You could just go back to watching.
Just go back to, being a fan and watching sports, I guess.
Yeah.
What would you give up?
But then would you wouldn't enjoy things as much then?
I don't know. I've always enjoyed watching sports. So I probably still would. But I don't know if I would have the sort of withdrawal symptoms of not being able to play it anymore, or the want to go and play it still.
Yeah, no, I think those would still stay.
Yeah, I think I'd still have that.
But you'd have absolutely no discernible like talent towards it.
Exactly. I'd be very much like Bambi on ice.
Yeah,
which I am most of the time anyway. On any surface, I'm kind of a bit flaily. But yeah, that sort of. I'd lack the sporting ability to actually play a sport, but I'd enjoy watching it, I suppose. So I'd give up my sporting prowess.
Okay.
Which isn't a massive thing.
you're a loss to Bristol Rovers' ability.
Well, am I though?
Well, it's just Bristol Rovers, so probably not.
Although to be fair, I haven't been there for months, so they're probably all right with that.
Okay.
What skill would you give up, sir?
See, like
in order to have your hours.
I don't know.
Is this maybe like the application where in order for you to be given these extra hours, you have to give up? Is that kind of the process? Yeah. The signing on form sort of thing?
Yeah. I would...
You're a very skillful man, that's the problem.
Thank you, but I want to give up something that I'm slightly mediocre in already, but like I've done the time, but...
Yeah. You've served your time.
Could probably do with an extra 10,000 hours just to get even better at it.
Yeah. What springs to mind?
But I don't want to give up anything that I'd enjoy. Gardening, but then I like being outside.
Oh, it's tricky. It's tricky, isn't it?
It's well tricky.
It's very hard.
I can't believe. I would go for. General computer maintenance.
Really?
Yeah.
But you're quite techie.
Yeah, but I think I'd give that up purely, and it's just from being lazy. It means that my family would stop asking me for any assistance because I'd be useless at it.
Oh, nice.
And I'd get away from doing all the like really simple
basic
stuff, and people would just be. But then,
would that not affect your job though?
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
you've fallen down a rabbit hole.
There. I would. I could give up a skill that I don't really use anymore.
Yeah, go for it.
I'd give up being able to make milkshakes.
Oh, I do like a milkshake though.
I love a milkshake.
But why are you giving that up then?
Because like you, I could still enjoy them.
True. Yeah, you could.
I'd just be useless at making them. Yeah. Like milk everywhere, and I'd just end up throwing like all the wrappers in the blender with it. yeah. That's
a good one.
I put a lot of time into learning how to make a good milkshake. Yeah. I've done my hours. It's like almost like a prison sentence. But yeah. Okay. I give up that skill. That's old. I don't need it anymore.
Perfect. That's a great one to give up.
Yeah. I really want a milkshake now.
Yeah, I know. You've really tempted me now. I really fancy a milkshake. What was your go-to? Because you did, like you say, you did spend quite a lot of time. It was your sort of.
I should probably give some background for this. So
go on.
Yeah, from the age of 15, I think it was. 15, 16?
I was going to say 14.
Really?
No, maybe 15.
I think it was.
We'll just pick a number between 11 and 19.
When I was a teenager, definitely still in school. I've worked in a milkshake shop up until the age of.
Are you allowed to name them? Are they still going? Or?
No.
Okay, well, you can name them then, I guess, if you want.
Well, milkshake shop in Bristol. One was called Shake King, and then I worked in one whilst I was at uni in Cheltenham. But so continuously, up until the age of 23. Years old.
Yeah, probably.
I'm looking at you like you're my
I was kind of like
chronicles of my life.
I don't really Nathan keep a diary of what you do.
Sounds
about right. Then.
8 years in the milkshake trade. non-stop. Dime bars. Dime bars are my favourite. They break up really well. They taste great, and they're just gorgeous. So,
highlight of your milkshake career? Did you bring all the boys to the yard?
I brought exactly 0 boys to the yard.
That's a 90s song, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that's later. Yeah, it's well later.
Damn it! I thought I had a 90s song.
Highlight
of your milkshake career.
And this has got to go now. It's a skill that's going.
A highlight, and it's gone.
I made a cheeseburger milkshake. That was pretty grim.
May I just remind you what highlight means?
Highlight. Oh wait, highlight means bad, right? No. Oh.
You made a cheese. Was that at customer request?
Yeah, they came in. They said, "Can you make this into a milkshake?" And I said, "Are you serious?"
Why didn't you just throw them out?
Because they said, "Well, we've got money. We've got a cheeseburger," and I was like, "Well."
I like to think they'd gone around a number of shops with their cheeseburger and money to see what they could do with it. Waterstones.
Yeah.
Can you publish this, please? What did it taste of? And don't say cheeseburger. I mean, like, how did you? You must have had to blend it pretty.
Yeah, well, we gave it a try as well. Yeah. Very gherkiny. That's the flavour that stood out.
That was the
lots of gherkin.
Yeah.
Out of everything, out of all the other things that was in it, so like the bun, and
the cheese,
and I'm not even sure if it was meat, but
no,
it's for McDonald's. It's probably not, even though the adverts say they are.
They are, yeah.
I'm not having it.
I'm not going to complain with McDonald's because they're a hell of a corporation, and I don't want them to take us down.
Bring it. Jack Higgins from Duck Size Horses says, "Bring it, McDonald's."
That's quite a few people you've insulted now.
We had an ice cream machine in our shop for a little bit, and we were our shop was directly opposite a McDonald's, and we started doing sort of like Sundays, like DIY Sundays. You'd pick your chocolate, you'd pick your sauce, almost like a McFlurry.
Yeah.
Guess what we called ours?
A flurry.
A flurry, indeed.
We
called it a flurry,
and they went absolutely.
Some suits came over. They walked in, and they were
no people, just suits.
Yeah, just suits. It was like that scene from Mary Poppins. Is it Mary Poppins? No, Bread Knobs and Broomsticks. One of the ones with the suits walking around.
Bread Knobs and Broomsticks. That is. It's a great film.
And they were like, "You can't call it this," and our bosses were like, "Well, we are." So.
Oh, crikey! You took on McDonald's.
Yeah, nothing came of it.
No.
We ended up like eating more ice cream or throwing away more ice cream than we sold. Really.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Yeah. It was a good effort though.
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah,
we tried. What a lovely tangent to go off on.
Yeah, crikey, we went down a road there, didn't we?
We should probably just.
It's difficult because we both have gone on the same thing.
I've in chatting, I've pulled a coin out of my pocket, and because we both agreed, I feel it's only right for us to do a ceremonial coin toss.
Okay,
on this one.
Is heads me and tails you, or
whichever? I'm gonna let you pick.
Okay, I'll pick. Oh, I have to pick a side, don't I? I'm just gonna wait till you do the toss.
It's a tense moment in DSH HQ.
I'm going for heads, please, mate.
Nathan with heads.
Oh,
it's tails.
A tail. That's a win for Higgins.
He's got it.
Well done,
He's got it back.
I shall write that on.
Oh, that was lucky. They sometimes decide football games by
penalty shootout.
That
was our penalty shootout, was it?
Coin tosses.
Do they?
If they can't finish the game and they have to have a winner, and there's no option to replay it, the rules can say they can do a coin toss.
Is that in genuinely the Football League as well?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So is that beyond the penalty shootout if they just keep going and going and no one's...
Yeah, so, say if a game has to be abandoned for safety reasons or like bad weather, and there's literally no other option to do it. So say it was the FA Cup final.
Right, yeah.
There's a asteroid coming towards the Earth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Big disaster.
Fair play to them for still putting the game on.
Yeah, I mean...
That's commitment, isn't it?
Yeah, I think as well, like, if that was the situation, maybe they'd have bigger things to think about than who won the game.
Yeah.
They do a coin coin toss because they couldn't replay it.
That is an amazing fact.
There you go.
You are full of some incredible facts.
Useless ones. Very useless ones.
I wouldn't say that, but yes. No, that's a great fact. So, you can talk about winning.
Yes, chatting about winning.
Yeah, seeing as you won
this month. Time to tell everyone, or remind everyone, about our competition. So,
yes, mate.
We've had some great entries this month, which we'll come on to in a sec. But if you want to win yourself a signed rubber duck, signed by me
and me,
then you can send us a photo, or as Jasmine has done this month, a video of a duck or a horse. We had a little bit of a. Or are we going to accept a video?
Yeah, we had a bit of a kind of VAR discussion, didn't we?
Yeah, we decided that a video is essentially a series of pictures, really, really quickly.
True.
Typically about 25 of them per second.
Another good fact.
So yeah, videos as well. So just send us
any medium.
Any
I think
medium.
We'll accept a dance, a poem,
a digital medium. We should say. So save the planet.
Yeah.
Just send us a photo, video, or recording.
Yeah.
Or
sound recording.
Digital painting.
Yeah. If you've got time, make a film.
Yeah. Commission it.
Yeah.
I heard Spielberg's not got too much on the go at the moment. So
nice.
So send us in some content that involves a duck or a horse.
Yes.
And as specified before on previous episodes, we're not particularly fussy about which duck or horse it is. We've had pictures of toilet ducks sent in. It almost sounds like we're trying to give away a lot of ducks.
Which is exactly what we are doing.
Yes. So our winners this month are, as we've just said, Jasmine.
Yeah, congratulations.
We've also got a rubber duck for Sim for his question. And there's a third rubber duck we've signed, and I'm looking at you now
because that is also for Jasmine, because it was a rollover, because we didn't have a winner last month.
Yes.
So Jasmine's won 2 ducks. So congratulations, Jasmine, for a double duck win. But that is why we signed the number of ducks we did.
Of course it was.
I feel like that was an official statement from DSH headquarters.
Congrats on the rollover.
Yes, well done, a rollover.
Perfect. So, if people do want to get in touch with us and want to enter our competition, how can we do that, Nathan?
So, if, as Jack said, you've taken a picture or video or done some kind of digital duck-horse collaboration or whatever, you can send them to us. You can tweet them to us at DSH Podcast. Our Facebook page is Duck-Sized Horses. If you're kind of old school in a modern sense, you could email them to us at ducksizedhorsespodcast@gmail.com. Those details that I've just given you apply for getting in touch as well. Do send us your questions. Like Sim did, if we pick your question, we will send you a rubber duck. They do, however, have to be a would you rather question. So we're gonna wave a little flag here, because a while ago we mildly ridiculed your father for not really understanding the premise of our podcast, and it seems that he has handed the parent misunderstanding baton.
In fairness,
yes,
your dad, at least it was a kind of a double choice question.
To be fair, yeah,
not just one which. What happens to the word twice?
My dad has picked up said misunderstanding parent baton.
What did he say?
And sent us a question, I believe, on Facebook that merely, it wasn't a would you rather question, it merely asked Brexit or breadstick. So, Jack, you've had a bit of time over this recording, I hope. Yep. I'm sure it's been on your mind since you arrived. Your opinion, here is the question. Thank you, Dad, for sending it in.
No duck on the way, sorry.
No duck, because it's a ridiculous question, but thanks anyway. Thanks anyway. So, Jack, breadstick or Brexit?
I'm going to go for breadstick.
And your reasons?
You can dip it in hummus. It's a lot more enjoyable and doesn't have anything to do with the Tories.
Winner. I would agree. I've gone breadstick as well, because similar, you can dip it in hummus. As I said to you before we recorded, you can make a more convincing impression of a walrus using breadsticks than you can Brexit.
Exactly.
And as you said, it doesn't involve the Tories, which is a slight highlight onto our political stance.
Yeah.
The two of us are not fans of their work. But yeah, so Dad, if you can, and for future reference, just make that a would you rather question, that would be brilliant. But thank you for getting in touch, as I say.
He's going to say, would you rather have breadsticks or breadstick?
He is. If it could be a would you rather question that will make sense, that would be brilliant. But as much as we've kind of ridiculed you, Dad, thank you for getting in touch. And also, as I should have said, while you're on your computers or phones or whatever, do check out our website, www.ducksizedhorsespodcast.com. You can find more about us on there. Previous episodes you've missed if this episode is your first episode. I hope it's not your first episode you're listening to, because it'll be a bit of a spectrum. We've jumped around a bit. But yeah, so check out our website. We do love hearing from you, don't we, Jack? It really is entertaining. So thank you for listening to episode 10.
We'll see you next month for episode 11.
We will. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or Britpod Scene on Twitter to find out more.